This is the Own It Show, where we tell stories of how everyday people made ownership theirs to create extraordinary success.
Hello!
Welcome to another episode of the Own It Show, weekly Winedown edition.
And pop that bottle. There it is. Now, if you're watching on YouTube or social media,
Tell them what we're drinking, hun.
We're drinking a welcome to your new job Prosecco. And so it pairs well with the new job, I hear.
Couple months late, but thought still counts.
Hey, the story behind this is Elise and I are celebrating her time in New York this week. It's a lot of what our coaches have been kind of going over is that she needed to really celebrate her time in New York. And it goes really well with what our guest Anthony Truck spoke about on Monday, is that ownership is sacrifice. And with us kind of taking this venture back in time to celebrate Elise's time in New York, she ultimately had to sacrifice a lot in order to move on to this new space of which she wanted to be, this new section of life that she wanted to take on, this new challenge that she wanted to take on, ultimately to become the person that she wanted to be. And so I don't think it could be at a better time for Truxie's message to really kind of dive into this.
Thanks, hun.
Cheers.
So, to talk about ownership is sacrifice, and Justin gave a great intro to this. There's a couple things that really stand out to me. In the episode, Anthony Trucks was talking a lot about honesty and getting super honest with yourself. And when you do that, there's some sort of sacrifice that has to happen. So when he was explaining that ownership is sacrifice, he used the example of, he was in the NFL for some time. And when he finally had to move on from that career because of a career-ending injury, he had to be honest with himself. And he had to realize, you know what, that is a part of me. It's not fully me. It's not, we talked about the tree and the apple. It's not the tree. It's one of the apples on the tree. But it's hard. It's really hard to get honest and say, wow, I've been X football player or X fashionista or X executive for this long in my life. There's still sacrifice that goes along with it. There's still, a piece of change that goes along with it, that at the end of the day, although we know there might be something greater at the end, there's that change, there's that sacrifice, there's that honesty that has to come with it, that must precede that success that comes later.
And that sacrifice, it's not easy. It's not something that just happens overnight. It's a process, and it needs to be recognized. And that's why we're doing this part with Elise, really recognizing it and really celebrating her time there, because moving into this new venture has been something that happened very quickly for her. And it's a part of her really being able to hold on to it. And Michelangelo talked about how when he was sculpting David, everyone was like, oh my God, you've created this amazing, amazing statue out of marble. How did you ever do this? And something really unique that he was saying was David was always inside that marble slab. He was always inside. The only thing I did was carve away everything that wasn't David. And that really kind of resonates back with this story, is because in sacrifice, all we're really doing is carving away everything that isn't us. If we want to be this great entrepreneur, but we have this professional career in front of us, or we have this job in front of us, or we have whatever's there, we need to carve that away. Now, it's not to say you go and do that overnight, but you figure out ways to sacrifice what is there. Is it that you have to change your lifestyle for a little bit before you get to where you want to be? Is it that you have to change the way you live? Is it have to change the number of vacations you go on? Is it that you have to change your mindset, your work structure? What is it that you have to do so that you can ultimately get to where you want to be? And taking that true ownership, there's a level of sacrifice there. To win is different. To win is sacrifice. And that's something really, I think, that we need to keep at the forefront and to understand, is that it's not easy. Everybody doesn't do it because it's not easy. And because of that, it's very unique. And when we feel that true calling, just like Truxie said, he's been able to now bless the world with something so much greater than just being an NFL player. He's been able to make change in people's lives at such a greater level and really impact them in the way that for what he was truly meant to be put on this earth for.
So the next time something may not feel totally right, or maybe you're not moving towards an end goal, or something is in your way, think about, are you on the right path? Is it really the right thing for you? Is whatever this thing that I'm doing, that I have on my agenda every week or every month or every day, whatever it may be, is this helping me towards my greater ownership goals? And if not, perhaps we need to get honest to ultimately be able to sacrifice and change them. And again, it's that short-term sacrifice for longer-term success. And as I am off to New York tomorrow, actually, this is the perfect kickoff to my trip to New York.
You got it. So if you're finding us for the first time, again, we do this every Saturday, really wrapping up our week, highlighting our guests that we had on Monday, the Own It Show Coach Conversations on Monday, the Own It Show Weekly Winedown on Saturday. Be sure to like it. Be sure to share it. Get it out to your friends and family so that they can be successful. Because remember, success is different. Be different
and own it. Cheers.